YouTube videos, and so that's what we're going to work on today. Last week we did 101 Dalmatians, so we did the little dog bowl that had a little bone, and we did the red roses with what is her name? It's not Drusilla. Why do I always Cruella? But Drusilla is one of the evil stepsisters. Anyway, it's Cruella DeVille. I painted some foliage to look like her hair, so it was really fun. And then the second arrangement we did that was Disney themed was Tinkerbell. Well, today we thought we would do more of a Polynesian theme. And so with the Polynesian theme, that would be Lilo and Stitch. And also Moana. They were both Hawaiian, Polynesian. And so we thought we would have fun making a beautiful, very bright, vibrant arrangement in more of a Polynesian style. So I am so excited about this. When you come on, please tell us hello. Tell us how you're doing and tell us where you're from. We are live on both Facebook and YouTube, and I want to apologize for being just a little bit late. We've been, we've had some technical difficulties, but you know that's how it works sometimes when you're trying to run to both. We're trying to stream to both Facebook and YouTube, so sometimes we have a little bit of a bobble. So we're going to get started. I think I've used this container before. This is a container that I found. Maybe my mama picked it up at a thrift store one time for me. And really, what it's made for is to place candles in it. I don't know if you can see. These are the feet, kind of. But you can place some candles and even a pillar candle in the center, place you some foam, and then you can make an arrangement. Today, we're just going to use it without the candles, and I'm going to put some foam in here. I'm going to start out with some fresh floral foam. This is just a block of fresh floral foam that has been soaked. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my floral knife, and I am going to trim this block. And I'm really basically cutting it in half. Now, when working with fresh floral foam, you always want to soak that foam first, okay? So don't use it dry. Make sure that when you're going to insert flowers into this arrangement, that you always soak your foam first. Soaking your foam is very, very easy. You're going to fill a reservoir with water, and then you're going to just lay that block of foam right on top of that water. What it does is it's going to fill up with water. Don't push it down because it'll cause air bubbles. Just let it fill up. It's not going to take more than 5 minutes. It really won't take quite that long. But be sure to soak your foam first. Now what I'm doing is I'm using my floral knife, and I am just trimming this foam because I don't need it to be too terribly big, but I want it to have enough surface where I can use it for my flowers. Of course, somebody is calling.
On YouTube, Joe Mackey says good morning.
Hello, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Miss Mary Lou asks, how are we doing?
We are good, Miss Mary Lou. Thank you for asking. He's going to get up there and sit still. Okay, so I am just making this for here at the flower shop. So let me tell you that I am not going to tape my foam in. You can absolutely tape your foam down. This is really just for the flower shop. It's really just for fun. So I'm not going to tape my foam down. I'm going to use some fun foliage. So I'm going to use some aspidistra leaves. I've got some tree fern, some pretty tree fern. We've got some palm branches. And I have some aurelia leaves. So I'm going to start out by adding my foliage first. Don't you love the aurelia? It's so pretty. So I am going to start out, I think I'm going to take a palm leaf. I'm going to move my flowers behind me real quick until we get it greened out. I'm going to take a palm branch. I'm going to strip some of the leaves off. I'm going to cut that palm branch at an angle, and I'm going to tuck it right into that floral foam. So you can see how I just tucked it right in. I'm going to take another branch, strip some of those leaves off. tuck that right into that foam.
Evelyn Hudson says hello from South Carolina. You should be getting a surprise real soon.
Oh, wow. Okay, thank you. I will look forward to that. Okay, so this is called an aspidistra leaf. Aspidistra leaves, I think they're so much fun to work with. They're fun to use as ribbon. They're just really a neat leaf. They come in, this is a variegated variety, but they also come in a dark green. I took it and I cut it at an angle, and I am just kind of putting it just kind of in a vertical into my foam, and I'm going to take a second leaf. Now this one kind of has a bump, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and kind of make it a loop. So I'm going to take some floral wire. I've got several in my handy dandy drawer. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it's got a little mark on it. So because it's just not as pretty as I would prefer it to be, I'm going to take it, I'm taking the tip and I'm pulling it down towards the bottom of the leaf, just like that. Now, you can do this one of two ways. I prefer to take a little piece of wire and just wrap this wire right around that leaf, just to make a little bit of a loop. So it almost works as ribbon. Now you can also take that stem and you can pierce that leaf with the stem, but I find that when you pierce it, sometimes it tears the leaf. So I don't love that. So that's the reason I'm not going to do it that way. But here, look at that. Look at the variegation in those leaves. Aren't they fun? So I'm just taking these leaves and I'm just being creative. I have never had the opportunity to go to Hawaii. Now back last year, Victoria and I and my family all went to Disney. And so we got to go to the Polynesian, which is one of their resorts, and they had some of the most beautiful things there. And they had a lot of these interesting arrangements and all that kind of stuff. But I would love the opportunity to visit a tropical island. I think that would be a very fun trip.
Miss Judy Roeder says, hi ladies, so excited to see you live today. I've been in the hospital with COVID pneumonia and I'm home now and feeling so much better. You just cheer me up so much.
I am so sorry you've been so sick. I'm so glad you're here with us, and I will keep you in my prayers. I'm so sorry you haven't felt well. So these are called Aurelia leaves. And they're just so fun and interesting to work with. So I just thought we would take a couple of those and tuck those in. Now you can see how where I'm positioning these leaves, I'm covering up some of these mechanics. I don't want all this foam to show. So I'm just kind of positioning the leaves to cover up some of our foam. Okay, so that's what we're going to do right now with our foliage. So you can see I've taken my aspidistra and I've come out to this side. My palm branches, I've kind of come out the other direction. And then the Aurelia, I kind of put kind of in the center. So it's just be creative with it. Just kind of have fun. Let me tell you, the best place to look for different arrangement styles is on Pinterest. Pinterest has everything you ever wanted to know about anything, and so that's kind of where we got the idea of this Polynesian style arrangement. So all of the arrangements were very vibrant, very, very vibrant. So the flowers that we chose are beautiful peonies. I've got some stock. I've got some fuchsia stock, red Gerbera daisies, those orangey yellow pincushion protea, orange spray roses, beautiful blue hydrangeas, some blue thistle, and some solidago. So let's kind of have fun with all these colors. Robbie also found me, they're artificial, but they're these beautiful red anthuriums. So I thought we would kind of play with those. We're going to start out with these blue hydrangeas. So with Lilo and Stitch, honestly, I'm fixing to tell on myself, I have never watched Lilo and Stitch. I guess I need to watch that, but Robbie said Lilo was blue. So that's the reason we chose to go with this beautiful vibrant blue hydrangea. So I removed the foliage from that hydrangea and I cut that stem at an angle, and I'm just kind of tucking him deep into that arrangement.
Miss Frida says, Monty, your head would be continually spinning. It's absolutely breathtaking. I went last year.
Oh, I bet it would be amazing. Amazing. I really look forward to that. We will one day. So I took the second bloom, I cut that stem at an angle, and I'm just tucking that really deep down into the very center of that arrangement. So I'm going to tilt it so you can kind of see where I tucked them. Next, I'm going to come in with a little bit of this Solidago. I have yellow Solidago, so I really thought with the Solidago I would kind of come out on this vertical line here with this foliage.
Miss Mary Lou says, I'm looking forward to your devotion tomorrow. Just love them.
Oh, thank you so much, Miss Mary Lou. I have thoroughly enjoyed them. I tell you, I feel like I get so much out of it, and I'm so thankful that y'all are enjoying those.
On YouTube, Tisha's Creation says, hello, Monty and Victoria, watching from South Carolina, my first live. I love that Monty always tells us the name of the flowers and greenery. That's so helpful.
And I don't know that I always know, so sometimes I ask. I'm like, guys, what is this? I'm not sure what this is. Sometimes I actually have, it's a type of palm, but I'm going to have to ask exactly what it is because I'm not exactly sure. There are some things that I don't work with real often, so sometimes I have to ask, but I'm so thankful you're here with us. Thank you for watching. So these are peonies, and they're really kind of in the coral family. They're not quite as pink, but they're kind of coral, and they're absolutely amazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to very softly, and they will open up. I was going to see if I could open them up and get that yellow center showing, but they'll open on up. But that's just such a lovely bloom. I'm going to remove some of this foliage. I'm going to take my floral knife, cut that stem at an angle, and I am going to just nestle. I'm going to cut it a little shorter. Beauty right down in there.
Kimberly Skinner says, hello from Oklahoma. Very humid out here today. Is this for a customer?
No, ma'am. This is just for fun. So we have been doing a Disney theme. On YouTube, I've done several Disney themed arrangements. And so I thought that this would be a fun arrangement. We had so many beautiful things in our cooler for Mother's Day this week that I thought this would be a fun arrangement to do. Actually, Miss Victoria and Robbie, we were brainstorming on what we could do for our video, and so we came up with, well, they came up with Lilo and Stitch. And I said, okay, we can do it. Okay, so what I did here was, this is that peony foliage. I just cut it off and tucked it in because it gives such a pretty texture. So I just tucked it right into our arrangement. Now I'm going to be honest, I am not exactly sure how it's going to hold up. Really, this would be something that would be more for an event versus something for long lasting. And so I think it would probably last for the evening if I wanted to use it in an event. If you're going to use something like this and it needs to last for a longer amount of time, I want you to play with it first. Before you send it out in an arrangement, I want you to take that foliage, cut it, tuck it in water, watch it. It's the same with anything that you're going to just lay on a table. Say you wanted to lay some foliage out on a table or use it as greenery on a railing. I want you to cut some, lay it on that table, watch it. Watch it throughout the day as you're working. See how it holds up. If it holds up well, use it. If it doesn't, it won't work, okay? And so that's the same with this peony foliage. I'm not sure that it'll work, but I'm going to tuck it in there. If it works, it'll stay, and if it doesn't, we'll pull it right out. So it's not a big deal. But be sure to always check it before you send it out in an arrangement. Next, we're going to come in with these fantastic pincushion protea. Now, they're so tropical and so fun, and they're right up there in my favorites. Just because they're hardy. They last forever and ever. So I'm going to take they always come in pretty short. I'm going to take my floral knife. I'm going to cut it at an angle, and it's a pretty woody stem. I mean, it's a hard stem. It's really not woody, but it's hard. So I'm going to tuck these guys kind of down low over here. They come in different colors too. They come in this pretty orangey yellow. They come in a red. They come in a few different colors.
Emma Carter asks, what time is the devotional in the morning? Saw you yesterday, enjoyed it.
It's usually around 8 o'clock, so I usually go ahead and video that devotion. I don't do it live, and I video it just strictly because mornings are kind of hectic. You never know exactly what time I would be able to go live, and so I usually try to go ahead and video that and then just post the video versus doing it live. But I post it at 8 o'clock in the morning, so 8 o'clock on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Miss Mary Lou asks, how was your hand when you burned yourself with the hot glue?
Well, it was a blister. It was a blister, and so I put, Victoria doctored me yesterday. It did, it put a little pop on, it hurt. But it's good, it's much better. I mean, I don't want to bump it, but it's much better. These are red Gerbera daisies, and of course, they look so tropical and so fun. I thought we would use some of these.
Jocelyn says, hello from the Philippines, watching you while having coffee. So happy to watch you live again with the sure beautiful arrangement as always.
Thank you, friend. I'm so glad you're here with us this morning. Thank you so much. We've got our fuchsia colored stock. So really, basically what I'm doing is I'm kind of color blocking, which you've seen me do several times, but I'm really just using vibrant, fun, tropical colors. And what I mean by color blocking is, you see I have my peonies kind of in that corally color, my red, my blue, my yellows and oranges. But it's just all in these pretty tropical colors.
I missed exactly who all said this. It was several of them, but they're asking about the new backdrop. Did you change it? What happened?
We are working on figuring out some backdrops. This is actually one that we used last year. We just really turned around in the room. This is a countertop that we've had here for a long period of time, and usually Owen just keeps it covered up with our boxes that we prepare for flower arrangements to go out of the shop in. So if you pick up an arrangement, we have boxes ready for you to make it easy for you to carry an arrangement. So we've used this backdrop before. I'm really just trying to work on backdrops. I'm not so pleased with the brick, so I'm trying to get a little more professional with our backdrops. It's just hard when you're in a tiny little studio flower shop. So we are cramped for space. So we're working on it, but we're just using it's just a different something to look at. Okay, so this is blue thistle. And blue thistle, I think, is just fun. And so that's the reason I chose to use it for this arrangement. It comes off, it's really almost a filler flower. And it's kind of a prickly, almost like a little spidery looking guy. But I really like the texture of the blue thistle, and I just thought it would be fun. It's not really tropical, but it's fun. And so that's why I thought we would use it in this pretty arrangement. So I just took a small piece, and I am just going to tuck it here and there in this arrangement. So I'm just going to cut it into smaller pieces, just like that, and just tuck it here and there.
Suzanne Jones says, hi Monty and Victoria, love this arrangement. You always have the most beautiful flowers. Always enjoy watching.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks, Suzanne. All of these blooms actually came from Budsy. So we got these all from, I ordered from a company called Budsy. And so we got all of our Mother's Day flowers from them. And so lots of pretty blooms. It's fun to work with some of these pretty colors.
Deborah says you should keep a tube of regular Crest toothpaste, not the gel, and dab some on a burn and leave it there. The next morning it will be almost healed, at least not sore at all. I always keep a tube of this toothpaste for any burns.
Thank you so much. What a great idea. Thank you. I will be sure to get some of that. So I tucked some of my thistle in. I'm wondering if you can see my phone. Okay, now we have some of these beautiful orange spray roses. And so I think we're going to pop those over here because we've got our orange with our protea here. So we're going to pop a few on the opposite side. Oh, I love orange. Mm-hmm. Orange is so happy, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Such a pretty color.
Allison says, can't see any foam, Monty. It looks great.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. You know, when you're working from behind, you're not exactly sure what the front looks like. And with this camera, I can't see myself. And so I'm just hoping. I just hope it's pretty. I'm just guessing. All right. So the last thing we're going to add, are we going dark up here?
You're on this other camera.
Okay. So the last thing I'm going to add, besides a little bit of foliage, are these. They're artificial, but these are called anthurium. And so they're just little hearts. I don't know if you can tell, but the bloom itself looks like a little heart. And so they usually come in this pretty red color. And if you've ever seen a plant, an anthurium plant, they don't have a whole lot of foliage, but they're just really fun. They're just neat. My mama always called them little boy flowers, but they're just like little red hearts. So I thought these would be kind of neat to tuck into these arrangements, and I'm really just going to kind of tuck them down here with the protea.
Oh, they're saying it's so pretty.
Thanks, guys. Does it kind of look tropical?
Those colors are amazing.
Aren't they beautiful? Gosh, it's hard to mess up these colors. It's hard to mess this up. I like the anthurium though. Aren't they kind of fun? Mm-hmm. All right, to finish it off, let's add a little bit more foliage. Okay, so I told you I wasn't sure. Tell me, what is this? Which camera have you got me on? Does anybody know what that is? What kind of, I think it's supposed to be a palm. But it's really neat looking. I don't know the name of it. I told you I didn't know everything. Especially things I don't work with very often. But I think this is so neat.
Miss Letha asks, or she says, looking great, do you fix arrangements for an out-of-town person?
So, if I were going to fix something for someone out of town, meaning, do you mean like I would ship out of town? It's always going to be in artificial flowers. I don't ship fresh flowers just strictly because I'm not able to keep them fresh. I don't have the means to try to keep them fresh. And so I don't ship fresh flowers, but we have certainly made plenty of arrangements to ship like wreaths and silk arrangements. Miss Gwen sent a message and said that her sweet baby girl loved her birthday arrangement. So that was fun. But yes, ma'am, we can ship artificial blooms. So this is called lily grass. And lily grass is a fairly wide bladed grass. It's an ornamental, just kind of fun to work with. Lily grass is a little different than bear grass. Bear grass is more of a narrow grass, and it cuts. Lily grass doesn't. Bear grass cuts just like a knife. I mean, it will give you a paper cut. So what I'm going to do is I've taken my grass, I've kind of caught it right here at the tips. I'm going to make a loop, and then I'm going to flip my tips kind of upward. I'm going to take that with a little piece of wire. I'm going to wrap those blades with that little piece of wire. And so really what I've done is kind of made some loops, almost like a bow, just kind of loops of ribbon, right? I'm going to take my scissors and I cut the ends, and I'm just going to tuck that right down into that fresh floral foam. And you can see how it's kind of given us just, it almost looks like ribbon. Just loops of ribbon, but it's grasses, which is so fun. But really be creative with your foliage. Here is some sword fern. I love sword fern. I love greenery though. I honestly think you could make a fantastic arrangement just in greenery alone. So I'm just taking these fronds of sword fern, and I'm kind of stripping that bottom. I'm just tucking them right over into this arrangement. But be creative with foliage. Go outside, cut you some greenery, bring it inside, and just make a little arrangement with your foliage. Because you can make beautiful things with just greenery. But guys, here is our Polynesian style arrangement. So this is what we will call our Lilo and Stitch and Moana arrangement. We're gonna make it for both because they're both really, weren't they both Polynesian? It was both. One's Hawaiian. I don't know where
I think Moana is supposed to just be Polynesian.
Polynesian, yeah, just a tropical island, right? But there we go. There is our beautiful. That is so pretty. Like, we need to have a party.
Yeah.
You want to have a party? Let's have a tropical party, Victoria. Victoria's like, okay. I guess we need to wait until Mother's Day is over. But how fun and beautiful. So just take colors. It doesn't really matter the type of flower. As long as it's bold, beautiful, bright colors and all kind of blended together, I think that's really what makes this arrangement, in my opinion, is all the beautiful colors just kind of blended together. Oh, it's so pretty. So pretty.
Yep, they're all saying it's beautiful.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. So the flowers I used, I'm going to go back over them really quickly just because you may not have caught it in the beginning. I used blue hydrangea. So these are it's really very royal, a royal blue hydrangea. We actually this week for Mother's Day got in several varieties of hydrangeas, which is fun. So we got this beautiful royal blue, red Gerbera daisies. These are kind of a coral colored peony or peony, depends on how you want to say it. Orange spray roses. Spray roses are just a tiny little roses in a spray. It's got several blooms on one stem. Fuchsia colored stock. These are pin cushion protea. And if you look close, these look like little pins kind of stuck in a pin cushion. And then this is called Anthurium. Now this is artificial because I do not have fresh, but we just thought it would be really fun to tuck in. My filler flowers are Solidago and thistle, blue thistle, just for the texture and the fun and lots of pretty foliage.
What are the kind of foliages you use?
Someone asked about the foliage, I used a palm. So this is a palm here. I also used, this is called, these are Aurelia leaves. There's Aurelia. It kind of looks like a little hand, right? This is Aspidistra. This is called, it is called sword fern. So it kind of looks like a sword, right? And then I used lily grass. Lily grass is a larger blade than bear, but it's a lily grass. And then a little bit of the foliage from the peonies I tucked in. So several really pretty types of foliage. And I'm not sure the name of this. Did they tell us it's a type of palm?
Lily said it looks like, I think, the snake plant or either.
So it's not mother-in-law's tongue or snake plant. It's really more of a palm. It's not rigid like mother-in-law's tongue. It's really, I mean, like it's kind of like a ribbon. So I'm not exactly sure. I'll find out the name of this because I'm not exactly sure. But it is not snake plant because it's very pliable. You know, a snake plant's very rigid and hard to, I don't know, it's almost like a succulent. It's really hard. But I wanted to say it's a type of palm, but I'll check. I'll find out on that. But that's so fun. I really like the way it looks. And I didn't realize, but it would make a wonderful ribbon when you tucked it into an arrangement. Really pretty. Really tropical looking. Love the variegation. Love the variegation.
Miss Linda says, put it in the cooler. It will sell quickly.
Ooh, isn't it pretty? Oh, it is so lovely. Beautiful. I love the color. Yeah, I personally think the vivid colors are amazing. They make me happy. I like all color. I will not say that if my children came and brought me pastels that I would not be, because I would be so happy. But now for me personally, the gift that I would like versus cut flowers, and I love cut flowers, I do. But I very much enjoy my plants to go on my patio. So for my birthday, Miss Victoria and Owen gave me a very large plant of petunias. It actually had 2 different varieties of petunias and one other type of flower. I'm not exactly sure. But it is overflowing with purple and yellow petunias and kind of a blue, almost looks like a little filler flower tucked in. But it's so pretty. And Owen says, Mom, would you like a plant for Mother's Day? I said, absolutely. That's exactly what I would like for Mother's Day. But I love this. The colors are so amazing. I like vibrant. Vibrant makes me happy.
Yep, they're all saying it's beautiful.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. We will be back tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure what we will do, but if you're interested, please join us in the morning. I am doing a daily devotion, and it's called Just Do It is the name of it. Go for it. You're right. Go for it. I'll get it in a minute. By Melissa Harvath. And it's wonderful. We're really enjoying it. And so if you're interested, please join us in the morning. Again, I just post a video there. But it's just a short devotion, and we spend a little time together and a little time with the Lord, and so it's been a lot of fun. So if you're interested, please join us for that, and we will do another live video tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. We will see you all tomorrow. Thanks, guys.